and welcome to the Double Fall Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Will. I'm accompanied by my good friend, Coach Jeremy, and tomorrow we have some epic Rome semifinals.
I
Jeremy,
can't believe Shapo finally made it. I mean, so proud of him.
yes, we're gonna have to save the Chapo disappointment for a whole nother video. But tomorrow morning, we got Lorenzo Musetti upsetting Sasha Zverev, and now he gets another crack at King Carlos. They played in the Monte Carlo final. Musetti actually won the first set in that before his body kind of broke down. He was playing 3 sets galore in that tournament, so that was kind of expected. But Jeremy, my God, was that a performance for Musetti to take out Sasha? Because yes, Sasha did have 40 love serving for the first set, couple errors, but Musetti, I was a little disappointed in Sasha's comments after the match that he said Musetti kind of relies on his opponents to make errors and plays with his defense. And I was like, Sasha, that's kind of what you do. So that was I was like, you're kind of saying like the opposite of what just happened, where Musetti's unbelievable shot making, his variety to make Sasha uncomfortable, forced those errors, which is maybe what Sasha was getting frustrated about. But man, if you don't think Lorenzo Musetti is a top 5 clay player, a well-deserved top 10 player right now, you'd be crazy. Because man, I love watching Lorenzo Musetti play tennis, and now he's finally getting the results to back up his talent. But do you give him a shot against Carlitos tomorrow?
Yeah, I actually definitely do. The only reason, like me as a diehard Alcaraz fan, and not that I jumped on the bandwagon after he won Grand Slams or anything, but the only reason that I definitely think Musetti has a huge shot there is because not to skip around too much, there's only 2 matches, but don't think that like Tommy Paul has any shot against Sinner, and we all since we started doing this pod, we have not been blessed with a Sinner Alcaraz final yet.
We need it.
It just would be it would just be too good to be true.
Oh yeah.
So that's why I think Musetti's going to beat Alcaraz, just because the tennis gods are like, no, they're not ready yet.
Yeah,
we can't have Sinner and Alcaraz play in a final.
We were robbed of Sinner for 3 months. Tennis officially feels back now that he's in these straws. And man, that would be an unbelievable gift if we got that in the finals.
I kind of love it.
I'm kind of throwing out. I'm throwing out my Musetti fandom because I agree. If we get Sinner Alcaraz in the finals, that is like, chef's keys.
Oh my God.
Like, get the popcorn ready, record it, clear your recording so you can save this match for later, because we're definitely going to want to watch it back. But
yeah,
Carlos, though, impressive win over Draper. I was a little surprised because Draper, he got that break in the first set, 4-2. And then there's just something with Carlitos where if he goes down, he now just unleashes and plays even more aggressive. And he's even more accurate when he's losing, which is, so rare for players. I feel like so many times they get in their shell. Carlos, all right, if I'm going to lose, I'm going out swinging. Yeah.
Yeah. He loves a slow start in the first set. It's amazing. And that especially helps him out in majors where, he can drop the first set and then match resets and just win 3 easy sets.
Yeah.
A la Djokovic, who was doing that his entire career.
True.
Yeah. I mean, realistically, the way Alcaraz looks against Draper, it looked like he was respecting him as the top 5 talent that he is, and didn't come out intentionally just spraying a little bit, giving Draper some free points. But that's just Alcaraz likes to find his gauge, and he knows that when he finds it, he has number 1 in the world capability. And I think Musetti is really going to do his best to ask the question of Alcaraz and give him opportunities, more opportunities than most of the other players in the field to make the wrong decision. Because with Alcaraz, it's never, if he loses, it's never because he wasn't the better player. It's because he didn't make the right decision in crucial moments.
Mm-hmm.
So Musetti, especially here, the way he's looked, is definitely going to give, Alcaraz the chance to, let Musetti into the match. And contrary to what Zverev was saying. Zverev in that press conference definitely was just uh, pissed, rightfully so. He was
Yeah, he was
just
just a
pissed off.
salty loser
But
as usual.
Musetti just played so tactically sound.
I,
So yeah, I'm gonna give Musetti a shot to take a set, but I am gonna say that we see Alcaraz in the final against Sinner. Obviously, not again. It's just I
yeah,
had to
not.
skip it because it's gonna be a short Sinner Paul
Oh
prediction
yeah, for
anyway. So
sure.
come on,
I
that
think. Yeah, well, let's get in that. Let's finish with Carlitos Musetti. I think the
yeah,
scoreline with Alcaraz and Draper was like a little deceiving. Like for it being 6-4, 6-4, like Draper was in that match. There's an alternate world where he takes that first set, and now we got the 3-set thriller that we were expecting. So I think that was kudos to how well Carlos is playing though, his ability to turn it up, and he is a
he
little bit
saved
more.
so many break points,
He did
so
save
many
a lot
break
of break
points.
points. That second set, Draper had like one game where it was like 20 points, and every time it's so deceiving when you look at the stats and it's like, oh, Draper went 2 for 9 or 2 for 8 on break points. Like, wow, he really missed his chances. It's like there's not much you could do when Carlitos like hits a first serve and then just blasts a forehand and gets to net and ends the point. Like
He even
Draper was
serve
like
and
fighting.
volleyed.
Draper was
He would serve
fighting
and
for
volley.
his life to try to even get a chance and like make Carlos have to play a ball on some of those break
Yeah.
points. And it's just like Carlos just has that level, especially on this slow clay where it's like unless your name's Yannick Sinner, and we hopefully we get that matchup. It's like there's not really much you can do to hurt Carlos.
Well, you're at his mercy, and a guy like Draper, his defense should be praised. Phenomenal defender in the sport, but even the best of the best at defending, how many, you know, Carlos Alcaraz offensive shots can you handle before? And because he'll just come in anyway and just, put the assurance volley, like always make him hit one extra shot, but he will. He's playing it
Yeah,
at his absolute best.
good offense definitely beats good defense in tennis. It's just like the nature of the sport. And guys like
Yeah.
Carlos and Yannick also have the ability to, within a split second, play defensive, and now they're on the one good shot to get in the rally, and then they take over control and play the offensive. So it's not even like it's not like football where you're like offense defense for the entire possession. Like it's changes throughout the point. And
hmm
I mean, Musetti was definitely super impressive against Sasha. Like highlight reels galore. He was the
It's just
Italian maestro, like a la Fed. He was just hitting
so good.
everything. But it's
That
like,
one-hander was looking absolutely
yeah,
incredible. I
yeah.
mean,
I thought a couple of times he tried to like play straight up with the backhands, like not mixing in the slice more. But when he did, that was what got Zverev uncomfortable. But
mm,
like, what do you do against Carlitos? Like, I don't see a path unless like Carlos, like he really does spray errors. Like maybe
yeah,
Zverev is right where like Musetti does need a bad day from Carlos to beat him. I was a little surprised how competitive he was in that Monte Carlo final, especially early on. So like
I think
Musetti
it's going to
doesn't
look
have a
similar.
non-zero. Yeah, doesn't have a
Yeah.
non-zero chance here. I think it's going
hmm
to be more competitive, obviously, within the sets. But I mean, I think if you're gonna bet these, you probably just take Sinner and Alcaraz and just pray for that final because, I mean, I could
I
see a
really hope
world
it
where
happens.
it would. I think either matchup for these guys against Yannick would be an unbelievable watch. If we get an all Italian final with Musetti and Sinner, box office, the crowd would be going crazy. They'd have no idea who to root for. But
Mm.
if we get Sinner Alcaraz, we've been robbed of that since maybe I think the last time they played was probably like Beijing last year, maybe Shanghai at the end of the year. So it's been like 6 months since we've seen these guys play. I mean, we
But
thought
never in a
that
final. In a final,
yeah,
never,
never. Maybe
never.
like a UMAG or something. Like I forget. I have to
Like
go look
way
at it.
long ago,
Yeah, like
though.
when they were super young. Yeah, no major tournament final yet, which is like that's what made the Federer Nadal Djokovic matches were so great because when they played, it was like slam semis, 1,000 finals. Like they only since they've been at the top of the draw, they can only play each other in this late stage of the tournament. And I mean, I'm gonna root for Musetti to make it competitive. I think he definitely does have a chance to win a set. So if like I like that as an odds, or maybe if you want to just root for a good match and take the over, but
Yeah.
because Carlos tends to not, the over is only 21.5. I don't hate that because Carlos does like to play with his food. He's not like a ruthless go for your throat killer like Sinner.
Mhm.
So I can see Musetti, like, you have to give props to Musetti here. Like, he is a threat as well, and he does things to make Carlos uncomfortable and kind of, force him to go for those high risk shots. So maybe that can bring errors. And Musetti also has the shot making and can pass him if Carlos comes to net and the whole nine. But
I just can't
man,
take him as
I
the
just
favorite.
don't.
I can't
Yeah.
take Musetti as the favorite.
Well,
You
he's a
know.
big underdog. He's like plus 230. So I don't see, like, I think those odds are pretty fair, to be honest, because I think it would be like a win for Musetti is like him to get a set, or it's like a tiebreak, loses 6-7, 6-6-4. Like, I could see something like that where, Carlos, it's not one way traffic, but he definitely finds a way to come through in the end because I think, he has that higher ceiling